welcome to another Frequency of Love podcast. I am so happy to have you here, and I'm so happy for you to sit in on this particular conversation with two very special individuals. We got inspired to do this podcast by writing our own love story, and in a world that could use some hope and inspiration and positivity, we thought, well, you know what? It's not just us living in love, and there's a lot of other people that have a lot of fabulous stories to also share. And so we get to sit down today with Gary and Rob and hear how they fell in love, and just hang back, sit with us, and listen to their fabulous story. So hi, guys. And thank you for being here.
Hello. So great to be here.
Thank you so much. So first, how did you guys meet?
My story or Robert's story?
I like both versions.
So you go first.
Yeah, I have to go first because he doesn't actually remember the first few times that we actually interacted. So I was living in Calgary, and the last weekend in October, I flew to Vancouver for a workshop, and my friend that I was staying with in Point Grey, Vancouver.
What year was this?
2006. And she was like, oh, you have to go to like Capers Whole Foods, or actually it was Capers at that point in time. And she was like, there's lots of like hot people that hang out there. You'll love it. And so I went and just went to shop and buy some amazing food. And I noted this individual behind one of the counters, and I looked at him. I was like, "There's no way he's single. He's way too happy." And
whatever that looks like.
Totally. That I think was the very first time in October that I went to the store, and then in December I went back to Vancouver because after my first time being in Vancouver, I was like, I love the city. I love everything about it. I want to move there, and flew back to Calgary. And I was talking to one of my colleagues, and he was like, you want to move? Why don't you? And it hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like, oh yeah, I can do that. And so I started the whole process of like thinking about that and moving in that direction. And December, I went back to Vancouver and noted him again in the story. He didn't see me or note me at all. And I was like, okay, that's fine. He's definitely not single because he should have noticed me. Hello, look at my light.
Here's a month ago.
Yeah. And so then went back again in January, did the whole like looking for job and employment and all that thing, landed a job at a conference that I was at within like 2.5 minutes. It was quite ridiculous. Went back to the shop, and this time I was walking down the aisle, and I swear on my whole entire life that when I was walking down the aisle in the grocery store, I didn't do this. Something else came over me and jerked my arm out, and as he walked by me, I clipped him. And he turned and glared at me as if to say, like, isn't the aisle freaking big enough for the two of us? And so do you even remember that?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. And I think it was because there was probably an energetic component to this in that I hadn't quite landed in Vancouver yet. So he's like, oh, I'm not even going to give any attention to this person. They're not even living here. And so fast forward May of 2007, I moved to Vancouver, new job, new home, new city. And I started going back to Capers on 4th and Kitsilano. And then he started to notice me. And I noticed him noticing me. And so that was fine and good. I'm going to fast forward. You can you can fill in the blanks. But basically, after a few interactions at the till and in the store, he found me in the tea aisle, and he said to me, to tea or not to tea? And I was like, I raised an eyebrow and I said, to tea.
And I said, right answer.
And And so we had a little conversation, introduced each other, and then when I went to go check out, he wasn't there to bag my groceries this time. I'm like, I guess I picked the wrong tea. And that was fine. I left the store, and all of a sudden I heard someone yelling my name. Not yelling, but just vocalizing my name, and it was Gary. And he handed me his card and said, how about we go for coffee sometime?
Or tea.
Or tea. And I said that would be wonderful. So I waited for 48 hours, because this was like 2007. It wasn't in the world of like immediate texting. If you were, you're using is it the QWERTY keyboard, which took you like 37 actions just to say hi.
Yeah.
So texting really wasn't a thing. I waited for 48 hours, called him, and said, how about we go on a date? And he said,
Yes. And the rest is history. So I started noticing Robert when he came through the till and I was bagging his grocery. I was the front end manager of Capers at the time. And so the cashier turned to me as Robert left the store and said, so what do you think? And I said, well, tall, handsome, big nose, great teeth, good smile, got great set of hair. He says, well, he's checking you out in the window. And the whole front end staff turned and looked at Robert, looking out, walking by slowly as if I was going to make sure that I was going to see him. I was like, I'm interested. I was like, I got it, don't worry. So he came back on Sundays and Thursday, came back another time through the store, through the till, and I was there to bag his groceries. Cashier asked for his ID, and I think at the time, credit cards, you had to ask for ID. I don't remember the protocol. I think it was at the time. And so he had a Alberta ID, and I looked at it, and she looked at me, and she went, and I went, yeah, I know. And he says, well, I'm here to move, and I haven't changed my identification yet on my card. I went, oh, that's a good thing. But I looked at the card, and the first name was Grover, and the last name was Robert. And so as he left the store, she looked at me, and I looked at her. I said, I can't take him home to go, hey, Mom and Dad, meet Grover from Sesame Street. But it wasn't. It was just the wrong order on the card. Thank God for that.
Love it.
So he disappeared?
Right. He was right that you weren't sure if he was living in Vancouver and if you should bother.
Correct.
He was right on that.
Yeah, I'm not going to pursue. It's like if you're out of town, it's like I've done the out of town thing, and it just doesn't work. For some people it does, but for me, I know. I thought I did it once, and I thought, no, this isn't going to work. Nobody was going to move, so it's like, so if you're not going to move, it isn't going to happen. And so Robert went away for a couple of weeks into the field and came back. I didn't know he was gone. I didn't know where he was. I thought, well, maybe he didn't move. And so the secret is my front end team, just a small community of my front end team that were close to me, knew about Robert, and they would call me downstairs if I wasn't on the floor going, your mystery shopper is in the store, Gary. And I'm down. So I come running down the stairs quickly, and it's like he was in the produce, and I sort of stopped quickly and said, oh, hi.
No, you didn't stop at all. You zoomed by.
I was on a mission.
Yeah.
And so that's when I met him in the tea aisle, and that's when I did my best thespian quote, to tea or not to tea. Years in theater paid off, I tell you. And I said, so what kind of tea are you looking for? And he said, white peony. And I said to myself in my head, how fucking gay is that? And it's like, we actually had white peony tea, but it was at the bottom of the shelf. It's just a slow mover. And so so he got his tea, and then he got me. So there we go.
Which is also one of your favorite flowers.
Yeah, totally. So
So I think it was like basically 2 days later I called, and 2 days after that we went on our first date, which was supposed to be a 45-minute coffee, because that was Gary's rule, that 45 minutes was sort of like almost like an interview. And I didn't know this till afterwards, but apparently I passed. It's been 18 years. So his rule was basically, does the person ask any questions about me? Or is it just...
do they just spew out their resume? Is like I've been on so many blind dates, so many dates. It's like it had to be 45 minutes. And if they were interested in me, then and if they asked questions, because I was a good interviewer, and I would just prompt them. But the thing is, they didn't know how to prompt back. And I thought, okay, then what's going on here? So I thought, okay, I would get calls from a friend. Oh, my friend really liked you. The blind date went really well. I said, yeah, maybe for him, but not for me. It's like there was no questions. He doesn't know who I am. Never asked. When I first moved back from England, I had quite a strong, thick accent at the time. And so somebody would say, like, you're British. And I said, well, I lived in England for around 9 years. Oh, I was in England, blah, 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 blah. So they went on their tale of what they did in England, and I'll come back. Why did you move to England? Why did you move back to Canada? There was 3 questions you could have asked and none happened. Maybe I was a bit strict and a bit harsh, but time is of the essence. Let's keep it efficient, and then that's how I worked.
So the 45-minute date turned into coffee, walk along Kitts Beach, dinner at Bridges, and then what?
We had a second date 2 days later,
and then
he moved in.
Really?
Almost.
Well,
yeah.
I still had my own apartment, and I jokingly say it was because I had a roommate at the time too, and like the idea was that we were gonna be roommates for a full year, and so essentially I had a bedroom in our 2-bedroom flat, or our 2-bedroom condo, and essentially it was my changing room because I just went there every day to change for work and bike to and from work. And in the end, I essentially spent every single night after that second date at Gary's, and we just knew.
Yeah. Well, that's my second question. Like, when did you know? Was it the first date or day 2?
Oh, first date.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt comfortable. Yeah, it was at ease. There was no trying to figure out what's the next question or what should I say. And it was okay to have those pregnant pauses in between conversations.
Yeah.
It's like most people get restless and, why aren't we talking? It's like you don't have to dialogue all the time. The best moments are the moments in silence. So.
Oh, guys, we can relate so much because
I don't feel so bad anymore.
I know the book, like we met at 2010. So it's the same thing. There was no phones, there's no texting. We commiserate a bit too on how awkward it was to go on dates and people just talked about themselves and you just,
and the texting thing is like,
yeah. So you'd have to go in person to figure it out. And the third person in the book is Vancouver. So, and we were in Kitts as well. So it's quite a bit of all our dates.
And to be fair, those capers, Alice, they were pretty tight. So.
Oh, they are. Oh, I know. Yeah, it definitely is.
And it was winter. I was wearing a big bulky jacket at the time.
And it's funny because Robert says, "Oh, he must be not single because he's so happy." It's funny, short little side story. There was another customer that was quite interested in me, and I knew that was obvious until the day he got the courage enough to say, "Oh, Gary, I'm just curious. Would you like to go for a coffee date?" And I said, think quick. Didn't want to date that customer. And I said, no, actually, I'm dating somebody at the moment. Thank you very much. A little white fib. And that was the catapult that Robert showed up. So it's like, but the thing is, so.
I must have been something
and
that.
Also, what you said is you're like, something not like, I am with you. Yes, something made the arm go out to make that moment happen. I completely agree with that.
Yeah,
totally.
It wasn't the coat. It wasn't the aisles.
No.
Yeah.
But those aisles were tight. Totally.
Okay, so how long have you guys been together then? Did you say 18 years?
18 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Basically,
okay.
Yeah, June 27th, 2007 was our first date, and that's when we say that our relationship started.
Yeah, I love it. So what would be one quality that you loved at the start that you also still love today in each other?
He's a fancy dresser.
The plaid?
Oh no, he was he looked good in suits or not suits. So
bathing suits, bathing suits, birthday suits.
It suit me.
I think the piece that which we already touched on is the whole aspect of like it's okay to be in silence. And I remember like when we were at Bridges, the very first date, where we're sitting there having dinner, and there were moments where there were long pauses, and it was totally just normal. And I even remember last summer we went on a road trip, 18 or 19 days through Washington, Oregon, California, Nevada, Utah, Montana. There was a large part of the trip where there was no music on, no podcasts, no audiobooks, no nothing, and we were just in silence a lot of the time.
I think it speaks a lot to just who you two are as people, though, right? You're very whole people already and comfortable with who you are. And so I could see that when you probably mirrored that back to each other, that we're allowed, we don't need to make something here for the sake of. I'm sure that's only been solidified over the years.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
What do you think keeps you guys both in love after all this time?
Patience.
He's obviously the funny one. On an energetic level, I think it's the permission to be, and I'll explain more about that. And what I mean by that is that there's 3 energies in the relationship, and I call it the trifecta. That it's like Gary plus Rob plus this other entity known as Gary and Rob together, and that Gary's still his being, Rob is still his being, and then we come together as a couple. Even though a lot of people are like Rob and Gary, Gary and Rob, they only know us as one, or like. So I think that's where, if there's something that I see that I want to grow into, then Gary's like, yeah, sure, go ahead. Same thing, vice versa. So it's like this permission to grow at like your own pace. Like a lot of what we talk about is like know thyself, grow thyself, and experience thyself. And I think that giant permission slip sort of oozes through and permeates through all aspects of who I am, who Gary is, who we are as a couple.
So like, I sometimes have thought of that like the 2 fields are merged in a way to make then the one that makes the 2 of you. And so usually when that happens, because we have this a lot too, is like one person will speak something and it was the very thing that the other person was about to come out of their mouth. Yeah, and it's trippy, right? Like it kind of.
I think Robert speaks it. Yeah, and it does. It's like I was just gonna say that. You stole my line.
I find it also goes both ways, that sometimes if they're having a bad day and you're like, and I don't want to have a bad day, I'm like, can you just then take your field and go over there? Because I don't want to be impacted. I don't want to be part of the thing today. I'm doing great.
Yeah. I think that's the thing too. Like we just know when to give space.
Yeah.
And like Gary goes swimming a lot. I like to go out for a hike on the mountain. And that's sort of my time, and that's his time, because like we work together, we live together, we sleep together, we like all the things, but it's this dynamic. I'd say it's like this dynamic intuition sense of like, oh, like I'm just gonna do my own thing, and he's gonna do his own thing, and then when the time comes, we'll come together.
We solidified that trifecta by having a piece of glass sculpted for us from Granville Island, from the glass blowing studio there. So we created the trifecta of 3 wands or 3 hands or 3 arms coming up in a spiral. And so Rob, Gary, and then Rob, Gary. So that was like a token piece that was on the monument.
The altar.
The altar for the wedding altar. So yeah.
Oh, that is beautiful.
So yeah.
Nice idea. Whose idea was that, or was it both?
It was Gary's.
I love that.
But he thought it, and then came through me.
Exactly. Well, you guys are definitely very linked, but what's a positive quality that you see in your partner that you wish that they could see in themselves, that you see very clearly?
That's a really great question. It's interesting because we have these napkins that actually have similar questions to this. Like, what's one of the things that you love most about yourself? So the quality that I see in Gary is like his ability to like really truly be with someone when they are in, and this is connected to our work as well, but it's that I think it's a very ultra high level of compassion for when someone's in the deep of the deep and the thick of the thick and the heavy of the heavy, that Gary's just there and very grounded in it.
His intuitiveness. That's a word. Yeah, definitely. Intuitiveness. Knowing, it's just like Robert gets out of the way and it just comes through. It just is like, it's like, whoa, where did that come from? It doesn't matter where it came from, it just came through. So yeah.
What incredible combo, right, guys? Like, hence why you're so good at what you do. That's absolutely beautiful. And what a gift in a way that you've been able to, I mean, it's not a coincidence, right? That you guys are together in the work that you do, doing what you're doing. Just breathing that in. What would be your best tip for, say, even other couples to keep love strong and connected over the years?
Great question. I would say really communicating the full-on permission slip to the other person to like whatever it is that your soul wants you to grow through, meet it, be with it, and grow through it. And that as a function of that, that individual is going to be happy and a loving individual. And then I'm going to put a second one in there. It was like, I think one of the biggest things is that when you point the finger at the other person to say like, you're being da 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 in an argument or something of that realm, it's like, just stop yourself right then and there and don't say whatever you're going to say, because you're not actually, what you're perceiving is just a reflection of self, that there's some shit that you're going through that you have to work through. So instead of spewing that shit out into your relationship, just stop yourself right then and there and go put yourself in a little bit of a timeout chair to process it and be like, oh, what is it within me that's boiling up within me that I want to spew out onto someone else? So that's two.
It's very
healthy person.
it's very similar. Communication was the first thing, but the thing is, like, you have to learn how to communicate first with self before you communicate with others. So it's learning to, as Robert says, catch those habitual response. Is it from your parents, the way they responded in an argument? And the thing is, like, what is an argument and why are you having an argument? There is some discord in the communication lines that creates the energetic charge of argument. Then you have to look at it. It's like, oh, you really have to look yourself in the mirror. It's like, why am I charged about this and why am I angry and where does the angry stem from? Sure, that's a lot of deeper work, but at the let's call it superficial level, to get there, you got to listen and see the other person and not prepare a response, because it isn't a war between two people if you truly love each other.
I'd say that's probably the hardest thing for us. We both carried a lot of baggage into our relationship.
But we did make a commitment to, whenever we did argue, to be respectful.
Yes.
Because in the heat of the moment, if you're not, then you're adding extra that will never be able to be taken away. Yeah. So you needed to find, we always at least were like giving the time to process and that space. Yeah. But
I find now, like, I'm so, like, it's about, because you're arguing with yourself.
Yeah.
And I find now, before even, like, if I'm getting frustrated with Celeste, I can cut myself off internally. I'm like, you're not mad at her, Dave. You know, and I can give myself that time out even before anything. So a lot of it de-escalates even before, because I'm like, no, you're just mad because of you talked to your mom today. Or
There's another trigger. You know?
Yeah. And you're just like, and then usually it just dissipates. And once you're aware of that, it's just, it's not. You're not mad at anything you perceive Celeste to do.
No, of course. Yeah.
Nothing happened.
Mhm.
It was you.
But the thing is, the anger gets into crutches. You find that alcohol, substance abuse come involved. So then that's a whole another ball game there. So it's like, it's catching those moments before you get to that state. Oh, I need a drink to calm myself down. It's like, can't you calm yourself down without the drink? You know, what is it that got you all riled up? Sure, it's work. Somebody cut you off in traffic, but those are just minor things. You know, it all impacts your health. Really, you can look at it's all. You know, it's. You take care of self, and then you'll be able to take care of others. So
Yeah. Awareness, really.
yes,
As much as possible.
yeah,
And of course, I guess there's some moments that are easier than others. But yeah, I've been able to, even over the years, be like, all of a sudden I'll feel a shift within. And I'll just be like, okay, I need to go figure out what just happened in the last 5 minutes. What did someone just say? Or what did I just see? Or what did I just look at? Like whatever it is, to just go see what comes, because something just shifted, something in me. Yeah, we've been able to get there, but it's taken a lot. It's taken us 15 years, definitely, to get there, for sure.
a good test is traveling together.
Yeah, we've done that.
There are so many triggers traveling, you know, not to do with each other, just everything else that's involved. The delays, the other people, you know.
We missed an exit.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God. It's like, well, we missed an exit. It's like, you don't, what are you going to do? You just find the next exit to get off and you go around and start again. Totally. It's like, it isn't the end of the world. So, yeah.
Basically, put any couple, go to Costco, but take the 401. On the way.
No, you don't go to Costco. You call somebody else called Instacart. They go to Costco for you. I pay the $25 gratuity and they deliver it home. I don't have to panic with the car, the parking, the people, bagging my own groceries. I mean, it's not elitist or anything like that. Just time.
Exactly.
Just,
and your relationship flourishes. Look at that.
There we are. Yeah.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys have any advice for somebody that might be looking to call in their soulmate or their one true love?
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely. So if we rewind the script to the beginning of how Gary and Rob met, and some people might think, oh, this is such a sad story. It's actually not. I loved it. So December 31st, 2006, New Year's Eve, I was like, I am not going out. I'm not doing anything other than having a nice dinner with myself. And I had a beautiful dinner with myself. And then I sat there and I wrote a massive list of who I wanted in my life. All the different qualities. So I was very, very clear. And then I burned it on my balcony at New Year's, on like when the clock struck 12.
Your little firework.
Yeah. And so that would have been December 31st, 2006, and May of 2007. So 4 to 5 months late. 5 months later was when I met Gary. So I knew, I was very clear with who I wanted and what the qualities were, and I wasn't willing to bend. I wasn't willing to like, oh well, he's 5'1", it's okay. I'm
6'4".
I'm 6'2". So. Yeah.
Stop chasing. Stop chasing for Mr. Right or Mrs. Right, because if you're chasing, they're running away. The idea is just give it up all. Give it all. Just give it up. I gave it up after 13 years. I was in a relationship in London when I lived there for 9 years. 8-year relationship, I left that. And then there was a 13-year of just dating and not dating. And just after a long distance relationship, I thought, that's it. I'm tired. I was like, I'm just going to be me and just look after self. And if Mr. Right shows up, that's the bonus. And then when I stopped, that gave space to come in. Because I let it go, you know. So, and Robert filled that space.
Oh, weird. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it's a little.
Was
weird.
that in the book?
That's the book.
So Celeste wrote the list, and I was like, I'm done.
He,
Not dating anymore. I'm like, done.
Thinking he'd have a family.
It's just me and my dog. We're gonna go travel the coast, and then Celeste shows up.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah.
And the list actually gave me permission to leave the bad relationship. It brought me the clarity of an 8-year relationship that was bad, realizing, and they weren't big. It was called, I had kind on there and patience, like just very basic characteristics that you're looking for in a person. And it was my permission slip to leave him. And with a year later, entered him. Like, and he was everything on it and more. But again, it was also that permission to yourself to just let go, so that then again, they can enter, because he lived a block from me for 3 years.
Yeah, we lived a block away from each other for
So
3 years and didn't.
why did we never pass, right?
Right.
And it wasn't until he started at my job, until we both let go of who we were with to make space for who was coming in. So you basically just unknowingly talked about exactly what the topic of the book is.
It works. It works.
Yeah.
But it's weird because like half is just me going like, I'm done. And that's, you're just making space when you do that.
That was it. Yeah. I'm tired. It's like, of interviewing.
Yes.
It was like,
Yeah.
I do it for work. It's like, oh, I don't need to do this for life. It's just like, just stop. Definitely. Yeah. So
it came to the point where I couldn't do like dinner dates anymore. I'm like, I can't, like lunch tops. Like I can't commit a whole evening.
Yeah. I recommend to women friends is like, if you're looking for somebody, go grocery shopping. Why do you go grocery shopping? Firstly, go between 4 and 7. Go to a grocery store that's near a gym. Because if you're looking for a healthy, fit man or woman, most likely they've gone to the gym after work. They're shopping for great food. You could always check out their basket and see what they're carrying. Or you take your shopping list, as Robert did, to the store and say, are you all the things on my list? But it works. It works.
Do you know where I can find this man? What aisle is he in?
Yeah.
He's getting deep.
Yeah.
You guys just have so much wisdom, and just it's like just talking with you guys, like it just, I don't know, I just feel really whole from it, and just really exactly what I'm hoping to get from these conversations on what is possible within ourselves, what is possible in life, what is possible in partnership. Like we really can have it all. We really can live a really blessed life that makes us feel good all the time, and have a partner, the people that can meet us there. And I thank you for your honesty and your transparency and your beautiful story. And I hope that people find it inspiring to just everything you shared. And please, for anybody listening, I will list what they do. What they do is extremely important. And if you feel anything they've said calling to you as our dog rolls around.
That's a happy dog. Look what I can do. Must learn that from Dave.
Yeah,
just a bit. Okay.
But I absolutely loved your love story, guys. Thank you so much for being with us.
Great. Well, thank you for the invite and this opportunity to share what love is to us, at least. Yeah.
Thank you.
Big kisses and hugs.
Thank you so very much for having us.